Hello, welcome to this place and time. The word of the week is set, to set up, and every fourth week of the month is for scenario. That's environment and trying to get more words about mapping when one is talking about the scenarios. So, for example, who did all the mapping of around the world? Most of the mapping was made from Europe. How many hundreds of years took on lives, for example? That's sort of the scenario of this week. And when you're role playing in virtual reality, you sort of will get to see the mechanisms because you're playing 15 times faster and relating not just with your characters, but what your characters represent throughout the multiverse. And the many more years and friends you have, the more funny it becomes. It doesn't matter how many fights we have or things fall down. It's just keeping the show alive. What's going to happen today? What are we going to do tomorrow? And then most of the time, it's just doing nothing, allowing other peoples to shine and take their podium as well as they feel to have some uh, empowerment that's coming to light. Um, in the past, there was just a few, so there were not so many humans. Yeah. These powers have to be delegated for other people to also shine out. And shine out. And everybody likes to shine out as well. Like, I am entangled with cables. So, there you go. So, I'll share the formula for that as we get to meet. You'll have the settings to play them. The problem with the tech titans and the have not come to understand the importance of the world at large and how important it is for each culture and continent to delegate their powers and keep control of what is what. First, because they love their culture, they've been born there, as much as I love the meaning of what set me to be alive, right? Besides a mere ejaculation inside the womb of my mother, it took more than that. Yeah, my father was 5 years convincing my mother with many ways. Um, for yesterday, the word was well for yesterday. Yesterday, supposedly Thursday, because already it's already tomorrow. Today is already tomorrow. For yesterday was fasten, embedded, fasten, install, mount, fix. It's already fixed, already there. What can you do? It's just what can I do? This glass is already a cup. If I break it, it's not a cup anymore. It used to be a cup, but once it's broken, there's nothing there. Nothing at all. You can make something out of it, but it's not that I'm gonna break this or something else. All right. I don't like to see lipstick in the glasses unless I have a straw or I'm forced to make a brindis and for a formality. And for today is switch on, turn on, activate, program. So when you understand the value of the world at large, you can gain even more value and less problems. Unless you want to proceed with the problems on and on. And there's no need to, because we have an atlas collection of possibilities that tracks the future right from the position we're left. So that's all we got, right? Um, Moving into the future is quite complex when you need all the world to see, you know. The thing is that it's not just now, but in the future, it is a problem as well. This problem today is going to be a problem in the future as well. This is why it is not about Greenland or Venezuela, but the tech titans and the nationalism to not share and create all these problems. So when you have the priority of the foundation of all the problems, because you can have a lot of stories going on throughout the multiverse, right? And one problem has nothing to do with the other in another verse. But when it's a monumental problem that's thrilling the whole multiverse and the tissue of reality, is because they want to take over the players. They want to take over the rules of the multiverse. They want to change the rules. The tissues of reality start to not make sense. Suddenly, you have many characters from the same character that's been played for decades. They want to take over and convince. So there is no story going on. People cannot build their games because they are under threats with hacks as well. And it's not a war based on creativity and skill from your players as well. It is based on harassment, on thievery, copying your characters and your work that you have established and generated throughout all the years. People fleeting from the platforms, creating their own platforms because they don't want to be uploading their information again and creating their from zero. So I had to create philosophical, like we are we're monks making pictures out of sand to enjoy the moment, just to keep the inspiration. But in reality, one doesn't have to be rebuilding all the time because some people are destructive and want to take over. In 20 years, they want to conquer the world, just like that. 20 years. Let's say in 80 years. Because when did America gain so much popularity and power? It was a moment of rejoice after the war. Yeah. Because United States and England share the same language. They share their channels of information and movies and music. But we had a lot of talent around the world as well. So Trump is very engaging. He goes everywhere. He's everyday reporting. He sits with people. He says whatever, or I don't know. He's there. He keeps engaging. Um, it's very good for entertainment television, but to be practical, not really. Like is like being practical is just a lot of waste of money and time. So you're setting just to show off or what, see what business you can do to pocket yourself within the realms of capitalism. Of course, we all want to pocket some money, right? Like, yeah, yeah, that's not reverse psychology. Everyone would love to relate with more forms of traveling, meeting people, creating mansions into a village, talking with architects, talking with people that never study architecture but have built as well. Uh, for example, in Venezuela, uh, extraordinary buildings that maybe don't have so much money in the facade, but they have built on top of mountains out of the grid. Um, on coming to see what is really the possibility to build something while learning with others what is to return credit, so we can have the tools to build with and the capacity to believe that we can. For that we need the universal coin, all the coins to stop fighting, to all unite at the same time is the only way. Yeah. So that this is your sad story of the warrior where you all had to unite and there is no war. There is no fight, there is no mediation to win. It's just all your stories are suddenly dead. So what are you gonna do? You lose your power of showing off you are the main character of the movie. And suddenly you see there is a multiverse of people interacting with one another and creating from their own in fantasy and in real life. So the tech titans don't need to do philanthropy. They need to return the percentage they have stolen. Um, in better words, to honor from everything they have got. So those settings belong to their own custodians, and the New World Order Peace Board is not needed. That's why United Nations is built. NATO is not needed because it's is building wars, and then United Nations won't be needed because there won't be any wars. Yes, there is tyranny, and sometimes you need to do things to take out people like Trump, for example. We've done nothing this year, if you really think about it. As much as we can accelerate with everyone at the same time in synchronicity with the world map. So, this is all that I really wish to share from my heart. Um, I want to say thank you to the people of United Kingdom. I thank them very much for everything they have done. I have been living here for 10 years, and it's the first year that I'm living like 24 hours. Well, 24 hours I'm alone most of the time, relaxing and just thinking and feeling at the same time, just watching, not being part of anything, just watching, feeling the betrayal, and just watching the movements back and forth, and the relations, because every relation has a flip side of the coin, and we must let it go around. We must allow it to go around. It needs to recognize what's yes, no. So there is no negotiation unless it has recognized that to 100% recognition. So those are key elements we have put ourselves to. So I heard set free, to be set free. Set free, that's very good. I was reading from Gemini, the artificial intelligence from Google. Alphabet, DeepMind. Well, I was questioning because that's the way I think. I've studied with the river Styx many mythologies, parts of history to put her on every verse. And then I find out that, oh, good, I can play her there as well. More or less. It's like, yes, you call her in that way, but it's the same river. Just to be part of every verse with the river between life and death. I just came to think that in Hebrew, there is also the word set, because Moises learned everything from the Egyptians. He was very well educated with them. That's where he learned everything. He had translated much of the understandings of what he learned to his people. So Set as the god Set, the brother of Osiris. So in Hebrew, it also exists. It means the same of set and setting. In other words, a paradigm is also. But when I say it in Spanish, it sounds more as something magical that's new or in another realm or parallel. like that's. But those are abstract ideas. I don't know where I get them. Well, it was very much fun to see William Middleton saying hello to the people there and just hugging his wife, Middleton. Yeah. All right. So, a base map shows intensity data. So, for these first years, we're just going to exercise for each ministry and location in government how just exercise for the people that are working in government to reunite the data and put it up. This is an exercise that you can have from WordPress. The government in UK uses WordPress, I believe. And now the parliament is putting the transcripts from all their parliamentary sessions as well. I find it's a bit too much to have the titles of whom they are. Just the name is good enough. I don't think we need the picture. I mean, if you want to, if you if you're working, because I was not born on a digital era. I was born with paper. I need to print and I need to gather words to analyze and be able to do a surgery if there is a problem. For some people, it doesn't matter who is in charge, who gets elected, because they are always going to be in the back. And of course, it's more secure to not belong to any party. It's better to be in the back, helping both or three or yeah, your country if you like your universal share. Otherwise, why would you call it American if it's universal? So you have to understand what you're talking about. Yeah. It is dangerous for the future. It's not a matter of money. It doesn't matter if United States gives a percentage, but Europe still needs to work with artificial intelligence and governance, if possible, to have all their systems in the near future controlled by their own, from making their own computers and their own everything made home, so you don't have any virus stealing, because this is the first generation, and you can see the prepotence from wanting to think that you are a supreme country. And it was a bit insultive to see these people from CIA talking in the European Parliament and using intimidation, talking to them like if they're stupid. Europeans, we this is heaven on earth. 80%, 85%. So we don't need to carry guns. We don't need to insult people, harass people. Yes, we have problems, and all those people that have been raised here will be able to help the world from where their families come from. Believe me that you need to, the poor people that are not collaborating with society as the society was built, and the electronic ID should be only for immigrants until fourth generation. On fifth generation can become British, because the traumas emerge every fourth, and there has been a lot of harassments from people that take over jobs and they only hire from their country. Um, People cannot call the police because they gotta keep working, and there's no way to call the police for these behaviors. And people should be able to track all these behaviors, and they should be deported because of these behaviors. It was not just once, but many times. And it should be done and recorded, put there, and there you go. Record it. It should be recorded by law. People need to have an application to know the rules of their job. Um, I'm talking very seriously. the Hoovers from Algeria. You can ask the McDonald's from London when the lockdown was. They would bully the Europeans, and Europeans, even chefs, had to start working like a Hoover. They ended up going back to Europe. 1,200,000 Europeans left because they're not going to bully other people or fight. There is no need to. Where is the police? We had insults and harassment, and I was in the front because I am good with people. Later, I needed to recover from that. Um, I had not post-traumatic stress, but I was just burned. I was just exhausted. Um, and I spoke with the police many times, and they told me what to do. But that's when I thought, it doesn't matter how many times you report this, it's not a crime. Disturbance. So it's all in cameras, but you don't have a law to. But if these people have a digital ID, all this will be tracking their records, and they will be simply deported and learn the European way. And they should also study Christianity because it's a Christian continent, and this is not a way to behave. They're born here as well, and they are insultive. It doesn't matter if I went to the School of the Prince of Spain or I studied cinema and philosophy and meditation or being assistant of therapy for 14 years and whatever with the multiverse for 2 decades. That's all I wish to do, really. Um, doesn't matter. You should never treat anyone bad. If he's an employee of a simple job, that's not the way in Europe. And they have no understanding, and one has no time to be teaching people. I see many British as well saying, "No, I cannot use. I am British." They just say, "I'm British," so they let them pass. So they learn to, but they just don't learn like this for so many ways. What can you do? You are driving, and what can you say when they're always making a U-turn in the middle of the road? So I would be in my bicycle and just say, "Oh, it has always to be the same people." There's no courtesy. Um, Driving with so one is sharing. One thing is to share and teach and learn. So there is no room to there is no share space to share with the migrants, to not to teach them, but at least they can learn from the presence. Um, the British just become quiet. So I said, don't worry, I'm going to say it for you. So it's like in the multiverse, you create these characters and you say what character I'm going to play that is missing to make this work. There's a character missing. Which character would it be? So it flows. It cannot be said from this character, it cannot be said from this character or this. So you need new characters and new spaces. So it is not an act of philanthropy or mercy. It's just being more human. And I believe with the kids and teenagers, they could do this when schools from different boroughs get together to do certain activities, like when they go to a museum or mountain or to walk, or sports. So rich communities and poor communities can also blend to sometimes, so they can admire one another and see the differences and what do they like from one another to do or to learn, because they're all always pick to be better and say, hey, that's cool, you know. You will always stick to your rules, to your set of character traits by nature, and go for what's better. So when you have a universal coin, you won't need to be the leader of the world, because you will understand what this world is about. It will help you reach Mars faster when everybody gets more talent and more talent, and more minerals are taken to build something day and night. But if you spend your life tweeting and creating scandals and going to meetings to create more stories for your shine, nothing is been made. So you have set apartly, set aside, set aside letter, set aside by. You have set aside set associative cachet, set back, set based analysis. You will see in the future this will happen again. If you have one only person or country that thinks to be the owner of the world, it's very dangerous to put all the attention in the United States as well. It's not economically they have taken all the attention from the world, but we also have talented people for our movies, scriptwriters, engineers from all around the world. They just, with internet, they don't need to go to United States. Their algorithms are supporting more the influencers in North America than the ones from UK or from around the world, because these are tech titans from US. So the moment they are controlling, they are corrupting it more and more. There won't exist the meaning of the words, just the meaning that they are superior, and they will burn our libraries if necessarily, if they could, because that's what has happened in the past to make people believe they created the world and the word. They created the word, but we were all born together at the same time, and none of us created the word. But it's beautiful to understand where it comes from as well, the meaning of words. If you want to build a multiverse with me, you better have value to where these words come from, because it's a lot of fun when you're playing with other role players, and it's like you're fucked if you didn't study your character. You're fucked. You're fucked all over, and your character will be no more because you didn't study your character. Because there's people that know your character more than you. If you're gonna take over a character, yeah, I mean, I studied at least 3 months before, so I can replay very well. You won't find that in one page website. You gotta go to libraries. You gotta go to many sources, and make your parallel distinguish thoughts from where it really comes from. Because there are a lot of stories that are buried away. For example, mythology has many myths around one myth. So it won't tell you a lot directly. You have to see, you have to see it by yourself. You have to see it by yourself. Um, the good thing about Christianity is that they made everything more clear. Just one God, and you have your family, live in the present. It's just too much out there. It's too much. So one can converse through making life more important through our work and our family, by praising the Lord and church, and leave it to the monks and the nuns, I mean the priest, and make out of your life and your family a temple of worship through your work and family. That has been the Christian way, and politic as a society. Uh, Freedom of expression is not to contaminate the environment, our mental environment. Um, I wish I was disconnected from everything that's made from USA, because it's a lot of pollution in my mind. Uh, what has happened by bombing the place where I was born in Caracas, and to see my the city where I was born in Caracas that has been bombed. That for me is being an act of horror. So you have a criminal as a president for you can send him to jail for many reasons. He doesn't have one reason to go. He has many court cases. And that's the problem with capitalism. He can buy all the people, and people love to buy that. So they even sell their countries as well. They sell the reason of freedom. They want to play reverse psychology with Europe and never give in to understand where all this comes from. They don't understand the world. They lack culture, the ability to understand all the cultures, because they never conquer the world. They don't have that understanding. Um, it hurts me profoundly, because this is not the way to be a custodian of the world. And to my realization, to see the There is no way back because it can happen again. You are out of control. You're totally out of control, and in the future as well. Totally, um, you can't manage. Um, More and more people from around the world, and this is an illusion. So we don't need robots. You can make robots later. China can evolve faster as well, and providing with Europe, as you know, there is all the world to maintain at peace and protect our cultures. They're teaching even English in the Amazons, where with the gold diggers. So we're not taking care, as they're destroying the earth. All these cows, you want cows from South America and Europe as well to destroy the Amazons. This is against what everyone has been working for. I've been working in McDonald's or to try to solve the, and I have files. I have 19 files for it with the formula to solve the recycling that needs them, and it needs a lot of time to do so. Time, space. I wanted them to know that I was not after money, but if because they keep asking me for money, and I said, well, this is the amount of money you have to take. So if you don't want to do it, because I wanted to, I've been always asking, and they were avoiding to come. So they don't. There is no. It doesn't exist a way to solve this. There is no one responsible. No one is responsible in these multinational companies. They don't want to put it with the headquarters in Chicago. There is no. They want to put you with the headquarters in UK. They don't want to put you with. Everything is um, under development. They have created a great design with the United Nations, and it needs more time to develop. But they're not paying attention because everything is just to make more McDonald's. It's not to clean what's being left behind. Like Elon Musk is sending all these rockets out there, and we have all polluted. It's all polluted out there. Um, until somebody comes and stops them. But this is not about a lawsuit. It doesn't matter how many times you bring regulations to these tech titans. They're never going to do it. It's going to be like the Epstein files. It's going to continue for 2 decades. And still, it's not going to. Who knows what they're doing to kids right now? All these foster families are built to hurt children and get through them. So, a society that does not support families to coexist is very dangerous. These offices work to take money from governments as well. In the most horrific form. And of course, you only care for your reputation. You don't care about people. Yeah, it makes me happy to say it. I wish the people around you could see it and stop working for you. So you stop existing in your position. That's not a position for you to be. if you want to if you want to take care. So in the future, people that are leaders should not only pass a test, but they need constant therapy and psychoanalysis and heavy hardcore meditations where you can release all your anger and get to see where it's coming from, because this cannot happen again. I have led dynamic meditation for many years, and everyone has repressed anger just to be alive in this society. And the more educated you are, the more anger repressed you have, and that's hatred. The reason, one of the reasons I made the goddess of hatefulness, to allow storylines to free, so people could laugh about themselves as well with this character. Um, it is very heavy because this is the first generation of multimedia having to see this. So I want you to know that we might want to believe, um, all the people that have not been raped as children and gaslighted will understand this, because when people have been raped, and also those who have been abandoned, because you might have a nanny, but you've been abandoned, and you need to be gaslighted as well, that you're important, and you will learn later when you're an adult. But those who have not been raped in their childhood will understand. Those who have a lot of love and attention from their parents, mother and father, not a mother who just wanted to be in the press all the time, because you were just the reason where she got there. Um, you will know that this is not a fantasy where they love you and you have a good relationship. They're going to do it again. So even if they give a percentage, you must have your track of all your information in your memory centers, in your own, for your own culture, your own people. Because then, if we learn English, then all the algorithms go away from our people. So we also have a lot of talented people and things to do and take care from around ourselves. And this is more beautiful to to also heal away from the catastrophes we have had to see. We don't need these words at all. We don't need these dramas. Only here to sell the rules of role playing to virtual reality. Tech Titans doesn't cost anything to return the values to where it belongs, is the percentage, and collaborate. So each each country and culture and continent can take care, collaborate. So you have a percentage to move forward in the universal coin where you are having. But I know Bill Gates will think to be in top of the world, moving his games behind the scenes, as if Wanda needs his donations and the tech titans are going to do philanthropy because they all move away. So this Order 66 from Palpatine, a character from Star Wars, his spiritual name is Darth Sirius, but nobody knew that. They just thought he was just a politician. I only played the dark side and the Empire in Star Wars. I only have one character in the, how you call him, the, I just I insulted them so much just with that name. Just the name was an insult coming from the Empire. It's not the rebels, the resistance. Because they cannot accept that something is. So the empire taking over an empire to become an empire is something very brief from just the era of technology. Imagine if everything was made in USA, you wouldn't have another alternative because they will never allow legally for the countries to restore their information because we can have it from China and other places as well. That's being so I cannot find mindyourownbusiness.org. That's the company from Germany or Holland. I cannot find it in Google. That's the company that sued one of the tech titans for stealing all the information. So one of the tech titans. So note it down. They can help you much with what the work they did already, but it's not going to help with the lawsuit. I don't want you to have fake hopes in the future. All those promises that you are good and used to be good, and all those appreciations that a prostitute can give you, it is just in reality, it's just gonna take your money. And I want you to see the dark truth. Unless they cooperate, the best solution is that you protect your culture and the meaning of your values and all those countries in relation that you had helped in the past as well. Because their infiltration in United Nations and in the World Economic Forum is just to take away. To say we are, but you're not. So all these are shows of drama to hide from thievery. And I don't even want to talk about the rape of the children anymore. But this ecology has to die. There is no recovery from that. We must look into the future. Like when the Jews left the Holocaust, there is no way to understand that there is a recovery from that because you cannot, there's no closure. There's no brain in this. in this human concept of being that can understand why would somebody do that. So what you do is a psychology towards the future, and you have to cut all the relations because it's going to continue the harassment. It's going to continue the drama, the ugly news, the shit shows, the just drama. But if you like to be in the press, that's all you like, to be in the press and maintain the people just to see you. Because United Kingdom is always been, is always going to be what it has been. You cannot take that from the nature of itself. So if United Kingdom is ashamed of all its relations from around the world and it's just playing low key, so they have made the demonstrations for the power they have and their relations. And the more you will sometimes I'm like, yeah, I know it comes to manipulate me, but I leave it there. Okay, I leave it there. I'm gonna just watch until where you go. But don't think that I am that honest, that I silence. I have silenced stories for decades that are plots. I have been in many places in my real life. In many places, from the best to the worst, in many places. And there are places where there is no harmony that flows. There are many people in jail that shouldn't be in jail. Only killers and pedophiles should be in jail because they cannot stop it. They really have built a belief. And they would do it again. It's been proven. It's been. So that comes from the rush of the effect from orgasm and death is one of the highest attractions. So when it's being distorted, but the heights to an orgasm or death is a lack of spirituality and communion, not just with God, but with reality. And is all based in hatred to woman and hatred towards life. If you cannot die yourself, you will need to kill another. So you are seeing people that really have killed a lot of people to become a president in United States, for example, and hurt many children. So it builds up a persona that thinks to be worthy, but underneath it needs to kill more and rape more to compensate the pain. And is in a wheel of abuse. The abuser is in a wheel of abuse, and it's never enough. Most of gay people that are have been raped as well. This is by psychiatry and dark psychology. It's been expressed. It's been documented. So it's so hard. They cannot go to therapy to see it and relieve that. To They can't. They rather become schizophrenic or never desire children for the suffering they went through. And many will never recover. But create a new persona becomes an obsession. because it's the only way out by creating a new. It doesn't matter if it's a woman or an identity, something more. But the wheel of abuse never stops. So you will see they also have this relation with the outside. Um, as good as it is, because you think to rule by creating attention, you have very little for the world to evolve with people like you. So maybe a peace deal doesn't matter where it comes, it's always good. All this ministry of war and ministry of peace, all this eventually will, as a new party comes, all this will be brushed away, washed away. All this that has happened, or a new candidate for the right party, the Patriots. Um, I am here for the rules of role playing to virtual reality. Um, I like to get paid for my formula and be able to give with my percentage. My percentage is for the influencers, and my payment is to be able to work better on it, work on my family. So that's why I came. Um, there is no such a war of hackers. If you've been invited and you like to be here, I like you set your attention and believe that maybe one day we will have the credit to build a mansion into a village and find a place in the world where we will be celebrated because we're bringing goodness. Maybe I don't go, maybe somebody goes for me, because I really would love to be just with my children and my mother, um, unless they're free and they would like to go with me. Um, that's really, really that anyone can do it for me as well. I don't have to go, but I will be very pleased to feel that's flowing to places in synchronicity from all around the world. We can go in touch in nature, be in touch with spirituality. Like I myself can wake up in the morning. But I won't do it alone, really. I do that because I love with who I am, my people, my family, my tribe. Then I wake up, I have a job to do, I have a duty. I don't have, there is no connection. So there is no electricity for me to this. I am alone. The computer is not real living. This is why these stories are dead. They don't go anywhere. They film away. Um, it doesn't give you anything back. Is not an inner applause or an outer applause. It's still nothing, because in reality, you have not created anything. You can have rallies, many people applauding, many people shouting, many people wasting their time, like mine. I have not come here for that. I have not come here to support presidents. I have not come here to support anyone. I just want to sell my formula, the percentage for the multiverse, and show how it works. The rest, I have proved that I'm a genius. They're not just random ideas. They have tried to say that I'm a witch, that I'm possessed. These are ideas that I work in my mind when I am alone, relaxing in my bed, and it takes from my own studies in how to bring these observations towards a priority. So we all need the experience in this economic relation. And you like to have your viewers and the people that applaud to you, then do it. That's what is. If you really see that you're not doing really nothing with it, just for your ego and your vanity, just understand that you are there for nothing at all. So this is the death of that form of relating. It doesn't matter how engaging it is. It's so now people are gonna fight for who wants to make a peace deal. They're gonna fight now for that. So yes, sets of setting in stick, setting lotion, setting the sunset, setting sun sign, setting up, setting up exercises, setting education, setting literature, setting narrative. So these are, you have a scenario and you have your country, your culture to protect, especially to Greece and Italy for the meaning of the Latin word, and Europe to protect this as well, because the Empire of Rome did a lot for the. Is that we have the same love affair from the Anglo-Saxon and the Roman, so we love the English as well, but we also love our Mediterranean Sea, and if possible, that we can start noting in the map already. Let's say that nobody did the peace deal and we just pass the page and start working with the technological map, understanding that nobody can corrupt your language and your meaning. Then you will have all the English people, speakers, think they invented the word. And you won't let them go to other countries. If you build this, you will create a race in the future where they think that other people are something and they are the creators of the world, like the Vikings discover America as well. That is in the test to become Canadian. I didn't want to become Canadian. I wrote a lot of crazy stories there in the English test to become Canadian. I even talk about Marilyn Monroe and things that had nothing to do, because I was just the questions themselves were made me feel disgusted. The format in which it was placed, it was like, really? Do you really think that's to be Canadian? But you don't know, like, where do you think I'm coming from? Like, really? So the Vikings, they found a stick, drop it, and continue walking. So if there are records that they were there, that's it. But they didn't discover it. And the same thing can happen to me and to you and to your future. And I know many people won't care because they just want to be on the side of the one that already has more because they don't want to invest in doing it their own. So they're only thinking how to be remembered in history. That is the only. Um, they're not going to be remembered by the yellow press. Like when MySpace was wiped, that can happen to your platform as well. And nobody will remember you. The question is more profound. So for me, it has been very beautiful to discover stories of science fiction. And I miss my friends as well to roleplay again with them without having to hide. So we are not copied, which they already copied a lot. There's vandalism, piracy. So anybody can corrupt, steal from their country, and even if it's on a search internationally to be captured for stealing from their country, they can register all the money in the Virgin Islands, so the Cayman Islands. I mean, I knew that from the very rich already. And buy a house in London or in Dubai. There is a limit to this when it comes to the money of the government for every country. So this never happens again. Because the Cayman Islands are part of UK, but it has its own independence to hide where these companies come from. Because the United Kingdom will have a big percentage to manage for the map, to help other countries manage. At the same time, you don't need Bill Gates to go to Rwanda, which belongs to the Commonwealth of United Kingdom, when you can do this not just for United Kingdom and as help manage the rest of the countries in the world. For this, you will need to have so much income from corrupted people to wash their money in the Cayman Islands from corruption, because you will be having already this percentage. And this will help for the betterment of each part of the world. But we need people that care. I care. I have many stories where I've questioned myself, what can I do to care better? In India, there was a man holding his chariot where he would make chai and pakoras. And I just decided to walk through that road in Koregan Park, Pune, Maharashtra, in India. In the middle of the night, it was a full moon, and it was just, it was long roads. But I always loved to go into the unknown for no reason, especially when I was younger, not now. I guess I went through so much that I don't want to go out at all unless I have to. So it it was very compelling. The wheel broke. There are bicycle wheels, and he was holding it in the cliff, in part of the cliff, so it wouldn't fall down. And I was, my God, what is this? So I went running and helping to take it up. This man was holding that chariot for 2 hours or four because it was very late. And I bet you if there was a car that passed by, he didn't stop to help him. When we arrived where his wife was and the children came out, so happy for him. He 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 was so grateful. He said, "This is all I have, my family." You know, that was in the late 80s, perhaps, or the late 90s. The late I went to the year 87 to India for the first time, and I was in the 90s as well. And I have been in many situations of utter poverty, in jail, in Venezuelan jail, where my father was, or being a journalist. That was before this presidency, before Chavez, and the tortures existed before this presidency. Not that it's good, not that it's good. It's a Venezuelan problem. It's not a problem of a party. Yeah. So it is compelling to see that all these people could have and should not be in jail if they have better opportunities. Of course, there are some beliefs because it's been so enrooted that only by crime they can make money. And this has been shown in the soap operas that rich people are evil. And that is not true. Some are. So enjoy your presidency as if it is the last day of your life. I will be thinking, what is it for me to do? It is on people's consciousness and experience to think by their own and make their own decisions. And I do respect that it's in their hands. I do believe in humanity, and I do believe in the goodness of people because they are not stupid. They already know, like, we are not, we're decent people. That's why we don't need to do this in Europe. Yeah? We just don't do it. It's not in us, it's not embedded in us. We don't need all this security because we don't have that problem you have in USA. I think it's very good for USA to take care of their own problems. They have already a lot within their own country. Have wish for peace, so it's not a third world war. And I have wish so America doesn't have a national war. And I cannot do predictions because then it becomes true and people take it too seriously. So when I say, look at this, don't do that, because you can do something else, but people go and do it. Since when are you going to support one political party when you can be supporting a universal standard? So you might think the worthier emotion you have that is so rewarding from everything you did is bringing freedom to the people, freedom of speech. So that was a philanthropic element that makes you stand out and you feel worthy to have a platform. At the same time, you are creating a lot of toxicity, noise, mental illness among left and right. People just go there to bitter and find what's more scandalous and how to troll better. So the imagination is not used for artistic and spiritual, philosophical pursuit, is to exhort your own narcissism through characters, get all that evil out, is to help generate with monks and priests of all sexes, where of both sexes, where the spiritual realms. That's what I would love to be in, and enjoy massage, give massage as well, just be dancing, and that's all I love to be. Dancing with my family, meditating, praying, seeing the stories of the Bible, seeing the stories of the Jews. We always have the Jews around. They love all the metaphysical, and they could think better for what they do. Some use their intuition just for business. There is nothing else that for business. It's not for humanity or for nothing else. But they love to study. They're very studious. Like I will call my uncle Eddie, and he's Jew. Uh, Without social status, I'm nothing. I cannot see anyone. I cannot. What is it to see my mother is in all these years. So when you honor others, you honor yourself. Um, So processes and techniques, navigation, directing movement. So plotting, marketing points on a map. We will see the places that are still at war, and we will see so little. So we don't need to talk about or hear all these dramas. And intelligent people are going to do what is intelligent. There are better trends and frontiers, such as virtual reality, and see people having fun with each other, especially the young people, that they can produce money in multiplying ways where they it's worthy to see people happy, that they're loved, that they are having the attention, that it's not just one time, that is all the time. So be prepared, be prepared. Um, be prepared to receive the percentage. Be prepared to celebrate with United States their independence, 250 years, and whatever relationship they have with the ups and downs, as many couples do. Geocoding, that's geolocation, linking data to locations. Well, we will be doing that. Um, and well, I am always welcome to receive a call, um, just to start working. It really doesn't matter through who, as long as the work starts working with everyone at the same time, and we can see the piece deals through the map. So nobody has the group, because that's yeah, you have to role play in the multiverse with many characters to understand that it's always going to be shifting from one side to the other. It's always going to be flipping. Now here, yes, here, no, here, yes, because nothing is perfect. So another group's gonna say no because of that, and then no because of this, and then I want turn here, and then I want no turn there, and then these ones go together, and then this. So the universal coin is for everyone, from everyone, to converse and transform, change your money towards something that's unique and universal, to stop all these fights. I know only greed will want to fight this. I'm very grateful that China has put a lot of investment to help with humanity. Um, I can have very good stories that I would love to see. I would love to see, learn the meaning of those who take care of nature as well, and the nomads. You know, if you can find a partner in your life that's loyal and is always respectful towards you in the same way you are. I mean, why? I mean, why you should lower yourself if you're already embedded to be in a certain way. You already have the settings. You simply can't. You can't go lower. You have these standards. They can take your money. They can take everything from you. They can steal from you again and again, even your children. But you can't take away a person's education and genius. It doesn't matter where you put me in the world. I will always relate in certain ways because I've been raised to be open heart, to learn from others, to be cultured, to do what they do in that culture. Because I am in their environment. Is their scenarios, their set of rules, their set of cards, their games, their set of prayers. That's I am not gonna go there and impose. Yeah, that's a culture person. It's not imposing. I'm not imposing my culture, and that was what I learned in Santa Maria de los Rosales in Madrid, in the school of the prince, who's now a king. So thank you for honoring the past and the future as well, towards where we are going and what could happen. Because that was already happening. You were just gaslighting yourself. No, we're also superior. Yeah, we love the show. While they were doing all this and taking. So the foundations belong to each one to take care, right? And this is the beauty of having a multipolar world. And at the same time, to understand that the best in us can rejoice together to manage. When I say United Kingdom, is because is a place that's been set to say there is a location that is set here on point, and from here is also a huge emphasis for China, where they can work with it's not only the people from UK, but well, with the allies that are managing for this is universal space for to deliver and be in charge in relation with the continents and their cultures to preserve their value and their percentage. So it is understood from beginning to end. Hmm? How you feel that you don't need to do philanthropy because people can take care of themselves. And you're not telling them what is freedom of expression. You're not erasing history. You're not erasing the creators, the people that have discovered. You have many discoveries. You have made your machines for virtual reality. You will drop your mouth. Your mouth will drop when I give you the formula for virtual reality. As much resistance you had. This is the only time I should record because there are no aeroplanes passing. They will start passing at 6 in the morning, and the long flights go through the night. And it is programmed so people can have a good rest near the airports, I guess. My neighbors are very loud. So just starting to learn to love this place with all its difficulties. For me, everyone is the same. Nobody's more special than another. You are all apples to me. You are the same as I am. You are all gonna get rotten like apples do. Mature, become a tree of your own, or not. You all have your relations and you all have your life. So, and your beliefs, your systems of finance that belong to your own, and getting to feel universal is not a big deal because every tech item for me is the same as well. They just have a layer of a cake. So there are more people in charge. There are more people that have the power to do their own layer and to just show it and just allow people to understand how it works for what is needed in the world. So people can put there what they need and what they have in their ground, in their soil, and how can they take care of it if they are destroying the Amazons. How many wild trees that are there that are virgin? So please, you like your shit shows? Go. There's people that like shit shows, but that cannot be the only option. We're worried because we want to live a better life. We don't want to go through these wars, so we think that maybe our word is meaningful, but not to fill your comments because you're so special, or so you have all these views. It's not for that. You're not making the change, but it will push you away. Doesn't need a peace deal, as people just stop fighting because they find better things to do. It's talking about what they're doing already. So you've been resented all your life, wanting to be the owner of the world and to do the final betrayal with the 6-6 order to take over the world. And then you see you can't. How does that feel? What is the next drama that you're going to do? Who is the next person you're going to kill? So there's more drama or building to destroy, or what is next from US that they're going to do? They're not showing all the mass shootings they have in the schools. That happens by themselves already. That's a society that needs to be something and brutalize, bullying. I never grew up through bullying. I mean, in my boarding school, I was a bit odd because I would look down at all of them because they were hippie rich. And I would just look down on them. I didn't want to play with them. I was very upset. Not set in, I was upset because I came from a very straight school and I had a lot of love with my friends and the way we were and just the way they would manage. They did teach me good lessons for recycling and to prevent uh, wars. We study actual history with the Middle East only, not the past, because the past brings a lot of traumas that don't exist. Unless you're an adult and you're working on that and you like to dig into that, then it's good. But a child doesn't need to learn. He's a happy black kid. He has all his human rights in USA, for example. So he doesn't need to learn story. Slavery doesn't exist anymore. So there were educational innovations, which I agree they were ahead. I like for that my boarding school in Devon in England, Cochrane School. So one learns to keep what's best and to continue. Yeah. Whoever is the president of the US or any part of the world, whatever you do with your private life, as long as children are respected, I don't care. Just allow people to be. mm, get out of your. Get out of the cameras. It's been a nightmare. It's been, for many people, it's been horrible to start the new year with bombs in Venezuela and threats to Greenland. Um, I had to recover in my bed, and I was simply horrified with my relation in reality and life. How did I end up to be here, having to go through all this, thanks to all the guns the CIA have put in my country 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago. So the country collapses, and then this. So if you're friends with your friends, I can understand. Is that is your friendship, your ally, your alliance, your future, and you are doing very well for what you represent. But all the drama was not needed. So this is also for UK and the British, not only for the English speaking in US. If you want to suppress other cultures like South America and push them down so they become more slaves and feed you and don't have the room to think they can invest for their people to have their genius and their potential, to love their countries as well, not be an insult in the world, as you have done, then why should I be here supporting you? What kind of peace deal is this? Uh, do you feel better with contempt that other people are suffering in the world because you don't pay anyone? You just are taking energy and money from others. And also the time they have to be alive and enjoy their lives with their people. So, how many people are you making suffer So you have contempt. You think really you're doing a greater job or a greater good, or just helping a world to go into a collapse, just to watch how we all die by having a miserable life watching you. And be content because the birds are singing and you have food and shelter. Doesn't matter how many times I paint the wall or how many curtains I hung. I'm deprived from my human rights, from my family, from my income, from my work. I'm deprived from the horrors that has been invested in this world to make people think you're superior and others deserve to be farmers, right? So the farmers in Europe will one day realize we can do other jobs. Well, we give up because there is no other solution we can have. People will have cheaper meat. They're doing it for money. So South Americans will have jobs of pounds of farmers, and Europeans, it's the Americans. Oh, and the British. Yeah. Yeah. They discover America too. Not only that, Americans are people from United States. The other Americans are not Americans. Yeah. Oh yeah. The piracy is great. But this is distorting reality. You're saying, I'm going to give you all this money for this, and you're going to make all this money for this. Down. So it's very sad because I have pushed for with the illegal meat that was coming to UK through Ireland, and the farmers were losing their money because they were bringing through. I don't want to name the brands and the companies who were using the the meat from Brazil, and that's how many farmers in UK started to lose their money in their market. Um, so you praise one thing, but then you do another. You say you go for the environment, the Europeans, but then again, so you don't have enough time to see how the system works. You know that people going local can provide to their own, and it's better for the environment because they are not bringing all this. The forms of traveling, you already know all this. You can gain money in other ways. If you put it on a board mathematically and just keep it because that's unchangeable. And for that, you need a map, a world that's huge. You need to see it to remember what's more important. How are you going to hold the ice in the Pole North, on the South Pole, when it's too late? You think it's more important to see you, Ursula, every week on my screen and all these people. Do you think the people in the world want to live their life watching you? Because, yeah, the movies in Hollywood, they were entertaining. We got tired watching movies in Netflix. I guess some people do. I we have much power to make our own stories and potential in our human interaction. We can move very fast and quick, creating a lot of great energy forms of traveling. So it's gonna happen very fast, that's for sure. Where the future is clear, is so clear and see through that the decision making for what matters most is gonna be common, coming. Not having to be rude, action to be alive with your body, moving your body, feeling the oxygen run through your veins and your nerve system, relaxing, enjoying massage in your face, enjoying craniosacral, getting to become more and more silent when you offer yourself as living in a sanctuary with the preparation that has got you to be here today, every day, with beautiful people. In the very near future, there's going to be so many beautiful people because they're being set to play sports, to be active, to be 8 hours a day, uh, but also spiritually, to have empathy for other characters as well. Those who are very rich and think they are the cream of the earth might never change their characteristic because their ego is too big. So they need to die and be reborn again to really understand. Only through death they can understand they are not what they thought to be. They think they deserve everything. I know that from my past lives. I know that from my life. In this life, living many lives. This generates another understanding through you that actually makes you greater to have more empathy. I know people might think, oh, but you can manipulate people so well. I said, but why would I want people that are manipulated? Makes no sense. Why would you want to have power to manipulate people? Why would you want that? You want people that are working because they love to do their job in relation. They just love to be with you, sharing that space and movements together. But why would I? So, this is the only reason that God has given us empathy. And when you have empathy, you don't need to manipulate others because you see the whole circle of energy going through and it's eternal. So when you are in that degree, you also demand the other to be in that degree with you. Naturally, it happens. You don't say it. Oh, I demand for you. No, you are on that stage, and with more experience, you know how long a person can last in that stage. Because in a certain moment, the monsters of the past are gonna come, and they're going to sabotage that because they have no training. in having that perception in first skin. So being present is more important for the other's consciousness to come abroad, their own consciousness, because they're also watching what is the reality without anyone's manipulation. But the very beauty of it, and that heaviness as well, and that is that which never dies. That's transparent through you and the other. But we are born with beliefs that are not essential. So I am not here to choose anyone because somebody is more important than another. Okay? Bye. I think you can also understand that if you have love nonstop and you also like that respect towards yourself, do not dishonor yourself through any manipulations. Yeah, be honest. That's all. Yes, yes, no, no. Maybe later is later. That's all that one can exchange when one shifts the cards, right? Now, the next week will be for the word position. Um, these are words for the week of transition. Sometimes it's just a few days for the between months for the transition. So this year, each week will just start on every Monday, religiously, not like the other years. Love, true love, is the most dignified to serve one another. It is an honor. It is an honor to have that privilege. It is an honor on every spot you see, on every person you see in this kingdom. It is an honor. It mirrors everywhere. Uh, that is the kingdom of love. It is an honor. So thank you. All those. Bye. Thank you for managing.